Today, we will talk about Spoke's most recent video and who the invisible person was that was following them. First, we need to gather all the things this player did to determine who this Invis player could be. We first see this player inside the Bat Vault, and they make the sound of potion, brewing, and breaking blocks. Only for it to be a trick, and the Invis player was all the way at the exit, and we know this because of the water stream. Spoke and his team still believe that the Invis player is following them, so they use rare items on Unstable such as wind charges and pearls to try and create a distance until they reach Spoke's base and begin to create some basic fall traps for this player. They traveled to the Nether, where they jump through lava, which shows a Nether pathway, and they make a portal which leads to a cave in the overworld, and all three of them set there. Ender Pearl stasis chamber there, which will be very important later. Anyway, after setting the stasis, they go back to the base, only to see all the traps open, and some of them even patched. And then Spoke spots a obsidian pillar in the distance, and it's an arrow. This will also be important later. If you watch the video, I'm not gonna bore you, but simply they make a sky base. A bunch of beacons go up in the sky, and they lead to Leo Wook. Spoke fights Leo, then pretends to run away, saying he's at his weakest point now, and how they were going back to kill him, and then the video ends with a black screen, and we see Spoke get teleported, but we don't know who did it. Originally, I thought that the invisible person was Flame, and I know it sounds wild, but when you look at the battle ruins on the way to the Bat Vault, we can see a lot of cobwebs were used, and the person who fought Leo and the Invis person could be separate, but I don't think that would be true, as that wouldn't make sense unless it was a team. Then again, after Flame's latest video being trained by It's Real Me, we know his next master to teach him is TNT minecarts, and quite obviously we know Theobald the Bird will train him. And who better is there to practice against than the only other minecart player on Unstable? However, it also wouldn't make sense for it to be Flame, because he isn't the most patient of a player, and he is not the smartest either. I say this because whoever it is that was following them knew what they were doing and how to lead, spoke to where they wanted and seemed experienced, and what other experienced spy would there be that has a team and could use cobwebs? That's right, it's Jumper Who. And I know what you're thinking. I thought Jumper and Leo were teammates. Why would they fight against each other? The answer to this is that Spoke tells us that Leo abandoned everyone in the 2 weeks Spoke disappeared, and we also witnessed them having conflict before trying to prove Spoke guilty of murdering the spies. We also saw in Parrot's video the first king that Jumper Who herself had entered the election attempting to become the queen of Unstable. This can also show they are not in an alliance anymore, as Leo Wook works with or for the law, and Jumper is opposing them, which strongly suggests that Jumper does not work with Leo Wook anymore. The final suspect for me is someone who Spoke is very much afraid of, and even tried killing him off, and is, in my opinion, the devil on Spoke's shoulder, leading him down a dark path. And that is no other then Jamato P. Think about it. They wouldn't bring him back for one video and have Spoke pretend to kill him just for him to disappear for the entire King's arc. That would make no sense, and Jamato could fit the Invis person as the battle ruins could just be a bandit in the Amplified trying to steal the contents of the vault. Jamato knows Spoke, and I haven't even spoke about the fact that this person had over 4 beacons, which very hard to obtain on the server, seeing as the server is very dry of natural resources, but Jamato P was one of the very first players on Unstable, so it would be unrealistic to think he has such wealth. Moreover, I will now say what I think this Invis person will do once teleporting them. First, it could be a trap. Secondly, it could be someone seeking Spoke's help, such as Jumper, or finally they could full well not know it is Spoke as it is in a random cave in the Unstable, and the do have thousands of active players canonically. I'm trying to set up my Discord server. If any know how to help me with that, Email me or hit me up on Discord. Links will be in the description. And for now, EGG Chan.